Well, it's a great day to be working inside, guys, because the weather is turned for the worse outside. We're going to drop down to -7 overnight. It's time to do a little cleaning and rearranging in here. I've picked up a couple of tools that's going to make it easier for us to move some of this stuff around and find its final place for us. Make this a little more usable space and just organize things a little better. I am glad to be working inside today rather than out in that. By the time it's said and done, we're supposed to have about 4 inches of snow on the ground and -30-degree wind chill factor by daylight in the morning. So it's nice in here. But I did stop by and pick up a few things that we needed to help organize our garage a little better. Now that we have the sawmill back here, we're getting into some larger woodworking projects. And this guy right here, this is a cherry stump that is completely hollow. So our plan here is we're letting this dry, and then we are going to take and polish that, and that's going to make a really nice base for a table. We'll probably put a live edge up on this thing and get everything fastened together and then actually finished. That should look really nice, right? So we are coming across some unique things that we haven't experienced before simply due to the sawmill. So that has made it to where we are needing more space here in the garage. We're doing a lot of fun projects too, small projects that has turned out really well. Let me spin you around here. I'll show you this. This is a couple of projects we have done simply out of firewood rounds. I cut these 2 inches thick off of the bandsaw, and then these are persimmon tree that we have glued on here for the paws and the ears, and a piece of red oak, and doing a little bit of painting. And that's turned out really well for the holidays, and we have made a couple of those for family members and things like that. And this is a really nice door stopper or something to set on the front porch. And this is made so you can either take the sign down to put it away for the season, or you can spin it around, and it has wrapping paper that is Mod Podged on the back side of this. This is a red oak board that we have glued everything to, and then the base was made out of a firewood round with another split in half to the dimension we needed to slide this down into to hold it in place. Makes it really stable and just a fun project. And both of these projects is probably less than an hour to complete on either side of this. So something that was fun and simple to do, and that's always a good time. But that brings me back to getting the garage straightened up. When you start doing things like this, allowing one project to be setting over and the glue drying or paint drying or something like that, you do start consuming some more space. And when you're organizing a shop, no two shops are the same, so it depends on really what you need. We have the ability to roll the Mule out as well as the lawnmower and open up quite a bit of floor space in here, should we need it. But on the other side of that, when we're doing small projects like this, we're like anybody else. We'd like to do it as simple as we can and move on with it. So I picked up a couple of furniture dollies, and these guys are inexpensive, normally less than 20 bucks. But you can put them under heavier objects such as this workbench, or even the lawnmower if you had to. They're capable of holding 1,000 pounds, but you can place those furniture dollies under various heavy items and roll them around your shop. And you can also convert those into really nice casters for shelves and things like that for something that you can roll back and forth. You can stack 10 totes on it and move it all at once. So again, an inexpensive way to move things inside your workspace and make it easier for yourself. That electric motor there is about 150 pounds. Sitting on the furniture dolly, it's just simple to move around and get out of the way, and convenient. And again, you can put the entire workbench on here if we choose to and make it mobile. So it's definitely an advantage, guys. Now I'm actually planning on putting wheels underneath that as far as the shelf goes, and I'm thinking about getting some pegboard, guys, and closing in the sides and the back of it. And on the back of the shelf we could actually hang extension cords and things, providing we can roll that out. And if it doesn't get to where it wants to turn over or anything like that, then we can go ahead and stock all of our hardware on there as far as glue and screws and things like that, and make a roll around shelf. That'd be nice to be able to bring it out into the center of the floor as well. And then when we're done with the project, be able to roll it right back into space. Looks like the dog is at least comfortable. But all in all, these furniture carts have multi-purpose, and guys, it really does make things easier. I always try to keep 3 or 4 of these on hand. I picked up 2 of these things, guys. This is a clamping workbench, and these work really good for holding items that you're going to glue together. You can squeeze this clamp tight. Keeps it up at a comfortable working height at about 30 inches. And it also has holes drilled in top of the bench for you, so you can move these wedges around in various spots. I'll show you what I mean up at the garage. I actually have my grinder and my sander set up on one of these benches because they're really nice and light. So you can clamp tools to these as well. And then when you need to use them, you can move them out into a workable location and leave it on the stand. And then when you're done with it, you can put it right back out of your floor space. And it really does help organize. These clamping benches work real well for holding various tools. Now that we have a couple extra to work with, I'm going to be able to get our small bandsaw up and mounted. That way we can use it and not have to be moving it around all the time. This also makes a great way to be able to get a power tool clamped to a workstation and not tie up your workbench, guys. And then when I'm not using that, I can move it right back over into a storage space and keep it out of the floor. This is another really handy cart that you can have in your garage. Has 3 trays, 450-pound capacity. This did come from Harbor Freight for around $68. And it would be tough to build this for 68 bucks if you was doing it yourself, guys, with the 4 casters on it and then the metal that is included. But what this does for you is you can put various tools in there and roll it around to wherever you're working on whatever project you have going, and then roll it back out of your way. So I try to keep everything on wheels as much as possible, and that does make it more convenient for us up in the garage. And then the red cart being able to hold all the grinders and various power tools. And again, we keep our forge sitting back here by the big garage doors. That way, if it's warm outside, we can open up and let all the heat out. We definitely won't do that today. That's another thing I want to do too, is get the chainsaws to a dedicated area and actually get them up on shelves and out of the floor. The roll-around cart does work good for holding various tools, as you can see there, or anything else you choose to put on it. And now that we have a second one, we'll actually be able to use those as sawhorses and put our workbench on there and roll around as we need to. Now the miter saw stand has been something that's worked out fantastic too, guys. That has made moving this bigger saw extremely easy. And hopefully we're going to find it a space over here on that long wall as well. So I think the plan will be to clear this wall. And now that we've moved everything back here on the back wall, as far as boxes and things, we can bring the shelving and the benches back. And that'll open up the center of the floor for us. Then we can put our bench right here in this open space. The anvils will stay where they're at. But the rest of it should organize pretty well for us. And you always need various hooks and things like that. Now, pick these up for hanging extension cords on, or actually you could put two of them together and make a shelf out of them if you needed to, or hang anything you chose to from them. These are wall mountable, as well as these guys. Great for holding your extension ladder and things like that. So if you're organizing your garage, real simple to install. These are lightweight. $5 a pair, I believe, would be pretty close to it. Again, Harbor Freight. And while I was there, I actually got a pegboard insert for screwdrivers and things like that. This guy requires some assembly too, but it's no big deal. Put that together, and again, with it snowing outside, it's not a bad day to have a project like that. So a few days of organizing, guys, putting things away. There is some tools that I'm going to need to get rid of. I just simply don't use anymore. However, those are far and few between. And get everything organized in here to where we can actually start working on some woodworking projects. It'll be a fun deal, specifically when the weather's bad like this outside. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully the next video, the weather will be a little better and we can be back outside. However, it looks nice out there and it's not a bad way to spend the day. I'll talk to you on the next one.